Good news you can use with that phone, yeah. She got the good news you can use. Good news you can use for your life. So listen up, everybody. Listen up, everybody. She got the good news you can use. Good news you can use for your life. If you wanna get the info that'll help you throughout your life, yeah.
Hello, and welcome again to another edition of the Boomer Beat with Beverly Mahone. For the past few weeks, we have been talking to different people about their journeys in life. What things might have changed if they had done something differently? Well, today we are going to be talking to someone that I've known since we were like 5 or 6 years old, and we have remained in touch all of these years, like I call my sister. So I call her Taviatha. Most people call her TJ because they can't say Taviatha, but that's okay. How do you want me to address you today, my dear?
Taviatha, the same as always.
All right, very good. All right, so Taviatha, tell us about your upbringing and how you ended up in Dallas, Texas.
Okay, well, I grew up in Canton, Ohio, as you know, since you live down the street from me, with my five brothers and sisters. So there's six of us. Had a really good childhood. I always wanted to be an only child, but that didn't happen. Uh, Went to college down in Columbus. Was there for 20 years, and I decided I needed to just get away and get into another city because Columbus was very family oriented, and I'm single. So I said I'm gonna try Dallas, and I came down for a weekend or two, and I was like, oh, I love it here. The weather was probably the main thing. So I actually got a transfer from my job, so everything just kind of worked right into place. So that's how I ended up in Dallas.
Let me ask you this. Was Ohio State always your first choice for school?
Ohio State, and the other one that I had looked at was Capital University in Columbus. And I wanted to go out of state, but our parents was like, we ain't got money for all of that. Florida A&M was what I was really wanted to go to because I wanted to, just get away. But that's how I ended up at Ohio State. Money.
So, in hindsight, how different do you think your life would have been had you been able to go to Florida? Do you think you would have stayed in Florida? Would you have majored in the same thing in Florida?
I don't know. I mean, you can't. Hindsight is just like, well, I don't know. I mean, I always had the same direction. I wanted to major in psychology, which I did. So I probably would have taken up the same thing. I just don't know if I would have stayed in Florida or not. You know?
Oh, so you don't have any idea.
I
Now,
have no idea.
so the move to Dallas, you said that once you got there, you just loved it. Were there any other states on your radar for living in, possibly?
Oh, Georgia. I was going to go to Atlanta. Was my other thought. Those were my top two spots, and partly Atlanta because I had relatives there. And the first time I went to Atlanta, I was just amazed by all of the black people. I just, you never go anywhere where you see us everywhere. And I was just like, wow, this is amazing to me. And I thought this would be kind of cool, to be around our culture all the time. So that was my second thought. But after I went to Dallas, I really, really, really liked it.
Have you ever thought about at any point in your life about, hey, I'm tired of Dallas now. I'm ready to pack it up and go somewhere else?
What I think about now more than anything is going back to Ohio, just because I have family there. That's the main thing I think about. I kind of like to be around my brothers and sisters and the kids. I miss being here by myself. So that's the only place I really think I would ever move back to. Maybe that weather, I don't know. I'm the if I can take the cold, people.
Right? Because it does get cold there. That is for sure. So, marriage. Hindsight, we know is 2020. Do you think if you had it to do all over again, you would have ever gotten married?
Well, that's I think I was just like every young girl. You get married, you want to have children. That was my whole thought with getting married. I wanted to have kids and so forth. Of course, that didn't work out for me. So, that was the point of marriage to me. After that, looking back now, I don't even know if it's worth really being married if you're not going to have kids. I don't really see the significance of being married to someone. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of compromise. And, it's just like, why? I want to have a companion, but it's like, okay, we'll see each other and then you go home and I go home.
So, what things would you have done differently, do you think now, in hindsight?
And what things I think, you know what I would have loved to do, but I always was not brave enough, was to travel more. I wish I had opportunities to do stuff, and I just wouldn't do it because I didn't want to do it by myself, or I was scared to go, overseas by myself. And I wish I had done more of that when I was younger.
But you did take it overseas. Didn't you travel abroad some years ago?
Yeah, but it was only like 3 years ago, and I went because I knew a group of people going, and I begged this girl. I was like, "You got to go with me." I said, "You got to go with me," because she was like, "I don't know." I'm like, "You got to go with me. This might be my only opportunity to go." But that was in 2016, so I don't really consider that. I mean, that was like more recent than I'm talking about, like the single years. I got married when I was 25, but before that, even after I got divorced, I mean, I was divorced for 10 years before I got remarried. So all that time in between there, I wish I had done more traveling. I wish I had been more adventurous than I have been.
Anything left on your bucket list
No,
besides travel?
no, I really don't have a bucket list.
You never had a bucket list? Why not?
Because I tried to do anything I wanted to do, I tried to do it besides the traveling. And now as I've gotten older and I have a husband that, is not in good health, so it's hard to do traveling. So, well, other than that, not really. I'm quite content.
You You're quite content to where you are. All right, so let's talk about. I'm going to be a little more specific with you because I've asked different people different questions based on where they are, etc. Your neighborhood that you live in. How did you come to live in that neighborhood? Do you know your neighbors? Is that a neighborhood that now that you know the neighborhood that you would live there?
Well, the reason I'm in the neighborhood I'm in is because my husband had this house when I moved here. So I ended up moving into the house with him. I know some of my neighbors. Joe knows all of the neighbors because he's much more friendlier than I am. I mean, he is. I mean, I'll say hi, so forth. So I do know some of them. The neighborhood has changed a lot. We've been here for 20 years. The neighborhood has changed a lot from when we first moved here. So, that's made kind of a big difference. This neighborhood was full of a lot of gay people and older couples. And now it's, kind of not that way anymore. So we got more families and that kind of thing. So, I mean, I'm not ready to jump up and leave, but I probably wouldn't have picked this neighborhood necessarily when I first moved here. But when you move, I didn't know one place from the other, so I just moved into the house. I didn't even think about, we could have got a house, ourselves and moved somewhere. Didn't even think about that. Didn't occur to me.
Well, the thing of it is that if you're moving in with someone, they're already established, so you just kind of fall in line
Right.
with them.
Right.
As opposed to when you're both starting out and you're looking together. So yeah, so there is a difference there that you just have to kind of deal with. So do you think that well, let me ask it this way. What bothers you now about the aging process?
Aches and pains.
Yeah, yeah, we all got.
And I said, it's so funny. I said, we get up and every day it's something different. It's
Yes.
something different. And you just have to push through. You know, I work because I don't want to just sit around and do nothing all day. Plus, I need money, of course. But, just trying to stay active, I think that's really hard. I went to the store the other day and I walked around, I did a few things, and by the time I got home, I was like exhausted. I'm like, where did that go? I remember the days I used to get up on Saturdays and I would do all my shopping, clean the house, go out, do it, be home by 12 o'clock and done with everything. Now I can't get out the house before 1 or 2 o'clock.
I can't get out of bed before 1 or 2 o'clock.
I can get up and I'll get up and get in my chair with my coffee and I'm just sitting there, and used to be I would do that Friday. I wanted to go out Friday night and have dinner. I got to where I don't want to do that on Friday night. Saturday I rest most of the day. Sunday I go to church and then I come back and I'm trying to do all the stuff that I didn't do all weekend. So I'm trying to relax a little bit more because I always feel like I have to be doing something. So I'm really trying to, I don't feel like doing stuff, but I always feel like, there's always something that needs to be done.
Is there a piece of advice that you recall getting from someone, an aunt or your mom, your dad, something that they told you some years ago that has really been great for you, or you really didn't listen? And, well, what happens when you don't listen?
I think the thing that I always listen to, and it's so funny because I was just talking to my mother the other night, and she was talking about was having your own money, making sure that you had a job, making sure that you had your own, so that you didn't have to answer to a man. I have my own. I don't have to worry about. I got to give you receipts. She's talking about some lady that she knew, and she had to give her husband receipts when she went to the store and the change. And I was like, I wish I would.
I wish I was right. You better give it to me.
I said, oh, no. So she said that's why she always worked, because she was like, I wouldn't give a check. I wasn't telling a man, what I had or, like that. So I was like, yeah. So that was the biggest thing, I've always had a job.
What qualities do you see in yourself that you know that your mother has in her?
Oh, my God.
Well, to be honest, I mean, because I got some too now, and they're not really all that good.
I think I'm generous. I'm gonna say I'm opinionated, which I kind of.
You are.
Shut up.
I mean, I've known you long enough. I can say that.
I don't think that's.
Anything else?
I can't think of anything else.
You can't think of anything else. Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Well, we got just a couple of minutes left. What words of wisdom would you like to share as far as, with young people and things that, they should be doing or not doing as they travel on their own journey?
Always be kind. Always be thoughtful of other people. We all need to get along. It's just so much to me today is these terrible opinions and people just fighting for no reason, no good reason whatsoever. And I just think that we need to just try to get along, everybody together, and just share and love each other.
So you think kindness is really the focal point of making the world a better place to live in?
It's a very important part, yes. And empathy. You have to understand where somebody else is coming from. That I think that makes a big difference in everything you do. I may not have your experience, or I may not go through the same things you go through, but I can empathize with what you're going through. I try to look at it from another side, not just walk in your shoes, not just my own. Just be kind to people. Give them the benefit of the doubt.
But you know what? Maybe people don't know how to be kind because they really haven't taught to be kind. I think kindness is one of those teachable experiences. And I just don't think enough people have been taught what it means to be kind, what kindness really looks like.
Yeah. Do you
And
think
if you
that's
don't,
a generational thing, or do you think that it's just everybody? No one's been taught to be kind, or do you think that's just a generational thing? When we were young, I thought we were taught to be kind. I thought we were taught to be courteous and
respectful,
respectful, right? And
right?
do you think
And those are
we
things
teach
that
that anymore?
no, there's no, there's not a lot of that anymore. All right, so I do want to thank you so much for taking the time out. I appreciate you. You know, I love you. So thank you very much for doing this. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who is going to be tuning in to listen to If I Knew Then What I Know Now, how different my life might have been. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Boomer Beats with your host, Beverly Mahone, and my special guest today, Taviatha James. Remember this: you have gifts to give the world, so find your own unique voice and prosper and stay empowered along your journey. See ya.
See ya.
Good news you can use for your life. If you wanna get the info that'll help